Alright guys, welcome back to another Chit Chat with Cass. Today I am once again joined by my mom. Hello.
Hello.
So we did a Reacting to Conspiracy Theories podcast together, where I essentially explained some popular conspiracy theories that my mom may not know about, and you guys really liked that one. So we're back with kind of a part 2, where I'm going to be sharing a few more conspiracy theories. She may know some of these, she may not, and we're just going to kind of have a discussion about them. Did you have fun the last conspiracy podcast?
Yes.
Did you learn stuff?
Yes.
Did your mind explode?
Just about.
Good. That's what we're here for. So, I have a few different conspiracies. Let's start with this one. It's kind of gaining popularity right now, so I thought it'd be really good to share with you, and I don't think you've probably heard of it. But I know you know the musician. Okay. Alright, so, Britney Spears. I know you know Britney Spears because you've been to a Britney Spears concert with me before.
Yeah.
That was years ago. That was my first concert I ever went to, and it was actually a friggin' fantastic concert. I still love me some Britney Spears. Okay, so there's actually a couple different conspiracies surrounding Britney Spears, so I'm just going to kind of focus in on one of them. Let's see. So she is, of course, very well known for her, baby type high-pitched voice. That's kind of like what she's known for in her music, if you will. Now, the theory that is going across the internet right now is that years ago, her label decided to stick with that baby voice, high-pitched Britney, when in reality, her voice is actually much deeper than it is on her albums. Musically wise, they are presenting her as a soprano with a very high-pitched voice, when in reality she's more of a stronger alto voice.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that is the Britney theory that is storming the internet right now. Now this would explain why she doesn't necessarily sing live a lot. Now a lot of musicians modern musicians don't sing live, especially in the pop world. But this would explain her reason, because they have to alter it and pitch it up higher than what her natural voice is.
Okay.
So that could be a reason why, she has this image to keep up of the high-pitched baby voice.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't sing live in her concerts. Because you can't really do that on demand, I don't think.
Right.
So this theory really took off when Britney actually posted a video to her Instagram page. It's her singing in her home. Now, this video is clearly sped up. It almost has that chipmunk feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gives her that high-pitched voice. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and play that video for you. This is the video that she posted to her Instagram page. Okay, so that is the video that she posted. Obviously, you guys listening to the podcast, you can't see it, but the footage clearly looks like it's sped up in a way. And to me, it sounds like her voice is pitched higher.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's edited.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a natural clip, if you will.
It doesn't even look like she's in a obviously big hallway around room.
Yep.
And that it does sound very chipmunky.
It does, right? Now, a few people took this clip that she posted and they slowed it down to what they believe is a normal speed. The video looks more smooth. It sounds more normal and more natural. But because of that, her voice is much deeper. It's not bad. She sounds great, but it's not that high-pitched Britney voice that her image is.
Right.
So this is the slowed down version that some people have edited to what we think could be her more realistic voice. So that is the edited, slowed down version that I think sounds more natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I kind of like thought to that movie Crossroads that she did.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of sounds more like the part she sang in the film that maybe necessarily wouldn't have been so produced like you would for an album.
Right.
That sounds closer to what I think her voice could be.
Right. Well, couldn't her voice have changed as she's gotten older too, and that her record people didn't want it?
I am so glad you said that, because I have more evidence. Okay? I have some clips of her younger, singing on the Mickey Mouse Club and some other appearances.
Uh-huh.
You can clearly hear how strong and deep her voice is, which you'd think it would be opposite. Usually when you're younger, you have a higher pitched voice. But her voice does not sound babyish in these clips. It sounds strong, alto, deeper voice. Closer to that edited one I just showed you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like what perhaps the label wants her to sound like, all right?
Okay.
So these are some clips of Britney young. So those are both clips, and at different ages. The one looks much younger, and the other one is maybe pre-teenish.
Mm-hmm.
And her voice is deep.
Right.
It's not high-pitched baby Britney voice.
So it's like her natural voice is that, but then did they do it in the studios to make her high-pitched, baby Britney?
Like
or did she do it to her voice because that was what was wanted?
Yes, I think it could be like a combination of both. Mm-hmm. Like where whatever time period they decided, oh, we want you to sound more like this. I mean, honestly, it could have been around that like Hit Me Baby One More Time thing, where her voice kind of sounded a little bit more like that. That album did really good. So let's do the rest of your music like that.
Right.
And I also have, I decided to share this last clip. This is from just a couple years ago. I believe it's at one of her Las Vegas shows. And it's her during the concert deciding that she wanted to sing a song kind of randomly. And it's live. Like, it's not, you can tell it's live. And it's not one of her songs, so it's also kind of different. And you can kind of hear, once again, the difference in her voice compared to what potentially could have been mixed through a computer. What do you think about that live concert footage?
It definitely sounded more sophisticated, deeper, something voice, not
quite so. edited, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And this could also just be that for when she was becoming popular and into modern music, a lot of people rely on studios to edit different tracks. Auto-tune is the huge thing. And while I don't know if it's necessarily auto-tuned, because I think that she does have a pretty natural voice, but I definitely think they changed the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you compare it to some of her songs that are on her albums. But that is just one of the many Britney Spears conspiracies. There's some that say, she died, or she has a clone, or that one of her backup singers sang one of her albums. There's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding Miss Britney.
Wow.
Yes. All right. Moving on to the next one. Area 51. For Area 51, there are literally so many conspiracies related to this location. So, by chance, if you guys don't know what Area 51 is, the United States Air Force facility, commonly known as Area 51, is a highly classified remote detachment of Edwards Air Force Base within the Nevada Test and Training Range. It is located in Lincoln County, Nevada, in the United States. I know you know what Area 51 is.
Yes.
I know you do. Now, this base is highly guarded and protected. These are just some of the signs that are around the routes to the base, okay? Warning, U.S. Air Force installation. It is unlawful to enter this or without our permission of the installation commander. Section 21, Internal Security Act of 1950, 50 U.S.C. 797. While on this installation, all personnel and the property under their control are subject to search. Use of deadly force authorized. Warning, no trespassing, maximum punishment, $1,000 fine, 6-month imprisonment, or both enforced. Photography of this area is prohibited, no drone zone.
Wow.
That is a lot. Those are the different signs that are posted along the areas of Area 51.
Wow.
Yes. I love how that they've added the no drone thing. Now, that's a new thing. Because now people have their own drones and they're like, no, you can't do drones over here either. Alright guys, so basically, it is like a do not enter. Like, you do not enter, you do not take photos, do not bring your drone along, do not do anything, or they will legally shoot you. Like, don't do it. Or maybe you'll just disappear and you'll never be seen again. That's always a possibility too.
They'll feed you to the aliens.
Yes! So, whatever is going on here is pretty top secret, you would think. At least from the public. But for many decades, this base has been connected to, yes, aliens, UFOs, and things of that nature. So once again, the list of ideas or thoughts on this base literally goes on and on. So I'll just share some popular theories with you on what exactly happens at Area 51. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, so the first idea is the government is using reverse engineering for alien spacecraft on this base. So basically, there have been people that claim to have worked at Area 51. Mm-hmm. These people claim to have seen the flying saucers at this base and were part of the teams that worked to learn, understand, and kind of work toward that technology to further Earth's technology or create our own spaceships similar to these extraterrestrials.
Wow.
So that's one of the theories. Mm-hmm. So do we believe these people that say they worked on these teams? Are they crazy? Did they actually work on and see these flying saucers?
If they did, aren't they, for putting it out there, couldn't they get in a lot of trouble?
Couldn't they get in a lot of trouble or be like, they
gone.
died?
They disappeared?
Yeah. Something like super sketchy? I would think so, maybe. And of course, with some of those stories, we don't have exact names on who these people were. So it's hard to find the proof of who these people that are claiming to have worked on there are.
Right.
When you don't have their name. That could be for their own privacy, like, or security, so they don't get killed off.
Uh-huh.
Okay, another theory. Some people suggest that Area 51 is used as an interrogation center. Not for humans, but for the captured aliens from over the decades. These theories suggest that over the years we have come into contact with various aliens and that they've all been taken to Area 51 to study, interrogate, or even some of the darker theories like suggest torture. There are also some theories that suggest they could be like testing or breeding alien-human hybrids.
Scary.
Very scary. That not only is it like creepy and scary, but like the idea of like kind of like holding a different species somewhere to study just sounds so fucked up to me.
Yeah, because you don't know what if they can communicate and
maybe they got friends.
They got friends and the friends come over and do whatever too.
Yeah. Like, screw the planet because, you know, you have my cousin in there. I'm gonna blow your planet up. Like, that doesn't sound good. And what happens if they were just like nice little friendly aliens?
Right.
And you're being mean to them.
Maybe they're smarter than us and better than us and know we're killing our world and want to come and help us.
This is true. People be screwing this world up. So, theory 3. Going along with that idea that some people believe that dead aliens are kept on the base, or like the alien autopsies are performed. So not necessarily like we killed them, but if there was like a crash, like maybe Roswell, for example, you know about that one, like Roswell, New Mexico. That's like a very popular alien sighting, and perhaps like if they didn't make it, those alien bodies were taken to Area 51 for autopsies and to study that way.
Right.
Or other evidence towards aliens could perhaps be kept on that base so that it's locked away from the public so that we don't have proof of these existence, basically.
Right.
Theory 4. Another idea is that the government has found a way to control the weather. So this kind of steps away from aliens. Okay? And they do this controlling at Area 51. This could be a positive thing in some ways if you think about it, you know, controlling the weather, perhaps helping the planets, or, you know, stopping more natural disasters. We've been having a lot of natural disasters lately. But it can also be very scary if you think about it, because that could easily be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
Send a natural disaster to a part of the planet you don't care for. There's a lot of theories that go within like weather control on its own, so that's like a whole other topic.
Right.
But that is one of the theories that perhaps that's where they control it, is Area 51. Have you ever heard about that before?
No.
I've seen it on a couple shows, a couple documentaries. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Theory 5. This base could be the headquarters for a secret one world government or group. So these could be like a group trying to take over, or perhaps a group that is already in control, just not publicly. So some people would think to like things like the Illuminati or groups like that when thinking to it. Either way, you know, a secret base would make for a great place to hide a secret world government.
Right.
Some people suggest that these people have been around for centuries and have been like forming their world governments. Either they are related in some way, or like have certain blood types, things like that. There's a lot of different theories that mix together about this secret world government.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, there can be a lot of different mysterious and type groups like that. I mean, in any movies and any TV shows and stuff, but there's like different groups, like there's the Elks and there's the Legion Halls and stuff, but there's also the Mason Halls that are very, very not, if you're not in that group, you
pop
don't
up in
know
history
a lot.
all the time.
And yeah, they've been around for like ever and ever, so you don't know if, you know. They're
all part of the secret organization. But some of these, like, some, like, presidents have been, like, connected potentially to this type of thing. So is, like, the royal family. That's going into really, like, a certain blood type that's rare. But there's a lot of, like, higher up people, even celebrities that are kind of connected. Like, that's why people joke around, like, with the Illuminati. Everyone says Beyonce is part of the Illuminati. But it's, like, talking about these different higher up people that could be part of a bigger picture.
Right.
That us little folk don't get to know about. It's interesting and kind of terrifying when you think about it. Okay, theory 6. Remember how last time we talked about how the moon landing was potentially fake? Okay? A lot of people believe that it was actually filmed at Area 51. Because this would be such a huge cover-up, they couldn't exactly film it on a stage in Hollywood.
Right.
So some people suggest that because it was private, it's a private base, you're going to have, like, only select people can come in and out, things of that nature, that they filmed the moon landing on the base. That one's very interesting. It very well could be. If it's fake, you know, they could have filmed it anywhere.
Right.
Set up a stage anywhere.
Right.
Very easily done. Theory 7. For this theory, people believe that there could be a variety of buildings or underground levels built on the base. So once again, to keep whatever they're doing a secret. That could be aliens, weather control, or just normal government stuff. It would just add an extra layer and level of security to this base, you know. So technically you couldn't see what's happening on the ground surface because some people have suggested at least 40 levels down at Area 51. Can you imagine, like, a 40-story building underground?
Underground.
That gives me anxiety. I don't want to go down there. But that's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's unheard of.
No, it can be done.
It can be done. I don't think that's as far-fetched. I think it easily could be huge underneath. I don't think that's as far-fetched as some of these.
No, it's not, because in Canada there's a shopping center that's completely underground. You go take your cars down underneath the streets, and there's
so
multiple car parking levels, and then all the shopping is down underneath.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it's something that can be done, you know.
All right. And theory number 8. This is my favorite one. Nothing happens there. It is the most boring place to work. Because I just think it would be funny. Like, everyone thinks that this is a crazy location and has aliens and this and secrets and this, and watch it be the most boring place to work. Everyone there is like, yeah, nothing happens here. Wouldn't that be tragic?
But why would it be so guarded if nothing
That's
happens
the problem
there?
with that theory.
Is it just a place they keep secure in case they need a place to go, or a place that they need?
This is true. I have to imagine that something is going on there, whether it be like just a normal government stuff that regular people can't like go in and do or whatever, whether it be like a bunker. Is it like a safety bunker in case something would happen? Or what craziness, because, you know, lethal force is authorized. They can kill you if you step onto the base, you know? So something is going on there. All right, so that is all I have for Area 51. I'm sure there's about a bazillion other theories.
Probably.
Did you have a favorite one?
I don't know. I knew some of them, but then some of them I didn't know.
I go to like the alien stuff, even if it's not true. That's just how I'm always going to connect Area 51 to alien stuff, because like that's just what it's been for decades.
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm gonna go with. I don't know what they're doing, but curious and curiouser. Next up, we have some that we talked about last time. The Mandela effects. These ones tripped your mind out last time.
Yes, because I didn't know hardly any of them.
They're just so interesting to me. And just in case you guys are not familiar, the Mandela effect is basically where the majority of people remember something differently than what it actually is in reality. And the name comes from when Nelson Mandela was in prison. A lot of people remember him dying in prison. But in reality, he was released and didn't die until the 80s, I believe. So now there's a bunch of different Mandela effects where the majority of people think that it's this way, but nope. It's actually this way. And it seriously fucks with a bunch of people's mind. It screwed my mind up so many times with these. We went over a few of them on the last episode that we did, and now I have more. And people are constantly searching for more. Like every day. Okay? So, I have some images, some proof for you. Alright? So, I have a question for you. Fruit Loops. How do you spell fruit?
Like the normal fruit.
Wrong! Wrongo! Wrongo! Wrongo. Apparently Fruit Loops is F-R-O-O-T. I remember it as fruit. F-R-U-I-T.
Yeah.
Not two O's.
Uh-uh.
I mean, it kind of makes sense for the two O's in fruit and the two O's in loops. But no. I remember it as a fruit.
Fruit Loops.
Like a fruit.
Have you checked it? Have you gone to the store and checked it?
Yes, this is the thing. It is F-R-O-O-T.
And it's not something they changed and did recently.
I don't believe so, because everyone's freaking out, because everyone's like, what is this? I remember it as F-R-U-I-T. All right. The movie, let's see, how can I do this? It is the vampire movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what that movie's called?
Interview with a Vampire.
Interview with a Vampire. That is exactly what I would have said. But apparently no. It is Interview with the Vampire. I remember it as Interview with a Vampire. Mm-hmm. Not the. Mm-hmm. That's what I remember. All right. Are you familiar with Curious George?
Yes.
All right. Did you know that Curious George never had a tail? This picture here, him without a tail, is the accurate picture. But most people remember him with a tail. I remember him with a tail. But apparently no, Curious George never had a tail.
Oh, you're making me want to get out kids' books and look.
That's what I did with the Bernstein Bears!
Because it's like a kid, I totally, when he would crawl up in the trees or...
Nope, apparently he doesn't have a tail. He never had a tail. Her face is so funny, you guys. She's tripping out.
That's crazy.
All right. Do you know the, snack that is a cup of pasta that you put water in and you heat up in the microwave? Do you know what that's called?
Oh, shoot. I can't think. My brain's going...
So I'll tell you what I know it as.
Okay.
I know it as cup of noodles.
Okay.
Is that what you were going for?
Yes.
So apparently it's just cup noodles.
Cup noodles.
There is no cup of noodles.
Cup of noodles.
It's just cup noodles.
Okay.
I always said it as cup of noodles.
Yeah.
Cup of noodles. But no. Cup noodles.
Cup noodles.
No. No. All right. Whiteout. You know that little product?
Yes.
How do you spell white?
It's regular way.
W-H-I-T-E?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Apparently it is W-I-T-E. Whiteout. They have removed the H on this product for whatever reason.
To mess with people.
To mess with people. Why is it not just spelled whiteout?
I don't know.
Why is it W-I-T-E?
Maybe somebody had it.
Maybe someone time traveled and did these Mandela effects.
Maybe somebody had whiteout copyrighted and they had to spell it differently.
Maybe. Come on. God damn it, Barry. Quit messing up the timeline. All right. For many I Love Lucy fans, all right, people quote Ricky saying, "Lucy, you've got some splaining to do."
Yep.
Okay, that is their favorite thing about the show, all that stuff. And it's featured in other movies, other shows where they kind of imitate it and say, "Lucy, you've got some splaining to do." But apparently, he never said that on the show. That line was never said in the seasons of that show. He did tell Lucy to splain or start splainin', but the actual line, the actual phrase, "Lucy, you've got some splainin' to do," was never on I Love Lucy.
That's crazy.
Because so many movies reference it.
Yes. And they always do it because his accent, the way he would talk, sometimes it would not come out exactly right.
But yeah, this says, like, according to this, like, 181 episodes, Ricky never used that full phrase.
Wow.
All right, our last one is a song that I will actually play a bit of it for you. So, do you know the song Barbie Girl?
Little bits.
All right.
Not something
Okay, do you know, like, the main part of it?
I think so.
I'm a Barbie girl.
Right.
What's the next part?
Living in a Barbie world or something?
So
I can't think.
So I sing it. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Apparently that's wrong. Do you want to hear it before I tell you the real one?
Sure.
Okay. So I always sing it. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Right.
Is that what you hear?
No.
Because that's not what I hear anymore either after this.
In the Barbie world?
Yes, apparently it is not in a Barbie world. It is in the Barbie world. And I have been singing it wrong since when did this come out? I've been singing it wrong since 1997.
Wow.
So again. That's all I hear now.
Wow.
But for all these years, I have sang it, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, not in the Barbie world.
So there's only one Barbie world.
Apparently. What's also mind-tripping is listening to that song as an adult and realizing just quite how dirty that song is. Meanwhile, all of my 90s friends and I were like, it's a Barbie song. No, it's not a Barbie song. All right.
Wow, you stumped me again. I didn't know quite a few of those.
So those were the Mandela effects that I have. There are so many more, but once again, I'm just trying to ease you into this life of conspiracy theory. Yes.
Yep.
So our final conspiracy theory, I know you know it, because if you don't know it, or at least a little bit, maybe not all of it, but some of it, where have you been?
Under a rock.
Where have you been since the 60s? Like, where have you been?
I wasn't born in the 60s. I wouldn't know.
Bullshit. So, this last one is all about Paul McCartney's dead.
Oh.
The Beatles! Paul McCartney died. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I can tell you most of them.
You know about this? Okay. So she has some reference, guys. So, all right. So, in 1969, a rumor spread around that Paul McCartney, member of the famous group The Beatles, had died. But it wasn't that simple. He had died 3 years ago in 1966 and had actually been replaced by an imposter. Fans took this theory and went crazy with it. I mean, this is probably an early version of conspiracy theory. Like, when you look back at how many, like, there are today, this is probably a pretty early conspiracy theory that fans took and went with it.
Right.
So, superfans started to make connections and started to tell the story of how Paul died and why and how it was covered up. So, according to the fans, he apparently died November 9th, 1966, in a car crash while driving down an icy road. Wanting to keep the Beatles thriving, they decided to find an imposter to take his spot and become the new Paul. So that guy's name was Billy Shears, and he looked like him, he acted like him, he sounded like him, he was the new Paul McCartney. The theories about how they told or hinted at the fact that Paul McCartney has died there's quite a few, and I'm sure you know some of them. So I'll just go through them. On the album cover of the May 1967 Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, people believe that this is an image of a funeral. The flowers and the people all around it are set up to resemble a funeral. And that's the cover I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about that one before?
No.
Yes. So, I mean, actually, if you look down at, like, how the flowers are spelling Beatles and everything, this does resemble a funeral.
Yeah.
And, like, some of these celebrities in the background are dead. Some of these people back here. So, I mean, you know, it could maybe be a funeral. Some people even say that Paul's patch on his arm on this cover says OPD, and they say it means officially pronounced dead. I know that they're, like, jumping pretty far with that, but because apparently it's actually, in reality, it's a patch for the local police department, but the fans said OPD meant for officially pronounced dead. Now, on the back of this cover, George's finger is pointing to Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock. And apparently, as the conspiracy goes, apparently that's when Paul was officially pronounced dead. OPD. And his finger is pointing to that right here. Can you see that? See how it's morning at 5 o'clock?
Yep.
His finger is pointing to that. So that's interesting. Does it mean it's true? I don't know. Because these fans went crazy. Like, these are like the original fangirls. Like, you have fangirls in all these fandoms and everything today, but the Beatles fans, I feel like they were like the original crazy fangirls. Then we have an album from November 1967. On that album, at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, it sounds like they say, "I buried Paul." Have you ever heard that?
Nope.
I had not heard this until I actually did the research for this podcast. Let me just play that. So it is the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, where apparently you hear "I buried Paul." Did you hear it?
All I heard was "I bury."
I hear "I buried Paul." It trips
Really?
me out. It trips me out. Let me play it again.
I still don't hear the Paul.
I hear it. Oh my gosh, I hear it. Oh my gosh. Now, people relating to the Beatles said that it actually says "I'm very bored." Instead, "I've buried Paul," but it's creepy when you think about that, and then you listen, because I totally hear "I buried Paul," but I can also understand how it could be "I'm very bored."
Yeah. At
the end of a track. Okay. Next, on the 1968 White Album, we have the creepy and weird music that tell you messages if you play them backwards. Now, I was doing this outline in the middle of the night by myself, listening to these backwards, and I was like, okay, these are creepy, okay? These are creepy. So, on Revolution, number 9, they repeat the words number 9, number 9, number 9, and if you play it backwards, it sounds like it's saying "Turn me on, dead man," which I'm sure you've heard before. Have you heard it backwards before?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty well-known one.
Yeah.
So this is what the part that says number 9, this is what it sounds like backwards. So creepy. Oh, I don't like it. It reminds me of something that would be in an Insidious movie. That opening note sounds like a score from Insidious. The creepy voice saying "Turn me on, dead man." Oh my god. I don't like it. You're don't so like funny. It.
I know how to get you scared now.
Like, seriously, you could blast that and I would be like, I'm like getting like negative like shivers right now. Ugh. On the same album, in the space between the track "I'm So Tired" and "Blackbird," when you play that section backwards, it sounds like John Lennon says, "Paul is dead, man. I miss him, miss him." This tripped me out. Have you ever heard this one?
No.
Okay, so this is like between two different tracks, okay?
Right.
So, and when you play it backwards, it sounds like John Lennon's voice. Okay, so here it is. Paul is dead, men miss him, miss him. Paul is dead, men miss him, miss him. That's so creepy. Oh, I don't like these. I'm like, I'm into some creepy stuff and watch creepy things, but these are, I don't like it at all. Ugh. Like, I don't even care if this whole theory is bullshit. Like, it can be, like, it's not true, nothing, the Beatles didn't do this, whatever, Paul McCartney's not dead. I don't care, it could be bullshit. It's still creepy! I don't like it. Are you not as bothered by them as I am?
That one was worse. Yeah, that one was really creepy.
Okay, then we have the really well-known one, the 1969 Abbey Road album.
Yep, I know this one.
Yes. So that everyone dissects it, debates it. Everyone is basically looking for clues at this point, those crazy fangirls.
Yep.
So this cover is the 4 Beatles walking across the street, if you guys do not know.
Yep.
People speculate that this is actually a funeral procession. John is the preacher in white. Ringo is the undertaker in black. George, the gravedigger in blue jeans. Paul is wearing black like a corpse would. Also, his feet are out of step compared to the others. He is also barefoot, which some people suggest is a sign of mourning in some cultures. And I have the picture, but I know you've seen it.
Yep.
So.
Isn't the other one that he's clean shaven?
Oh, yeah. I have heard that before, but I didn't include it in this. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, because everyone has beards except for him.
See, the ones, I didn't know all of them that you said, but I knew the barefoot one and the clean shaven one.
Yes, so you see John as like the preacher in white. Ringo is the, what did I say it was?
Undertaker,
thank you. And then George is the grave digger. Gosh, you learn your words, Cassie.
Yep.
And then, yes, I thought it was interesting that his feet are different from everybody's. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's left foot is forward except for his.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then he's barefoot, clean shaven. Thank you. I forgot about that one. Mm-hmm. And some people were talking about how he has a cigarette that's pointing at the ground, but I don't really understand what that's supposed to show you.
I don't know.
Not quite sure. It's very interesting. I actually have this album cover in my room. So also with this cover, if you look at the cars behind, the Volkswagen Bug has the license plate LMW28IF. Mm-hmm. So back then, a bunch of people had the theory that apparently this was meant to be Paul would be 28 if he was still alive. So 28 if on the back of the Bug. However, this doesn't really hold up because in reality, he would have been 27 at the time that this album came out. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's an interesting theory, but he would have been 27, not 28.
Right.
But it is interesting, and I think I do have a picture of that zoomed in so you can see the license plate. See how it's 28 if?
Right.
Back there on the Beetle Bug. Huh. So there are a lot of pictures online that also compare the differences between Paul McCartney and the replacement guy, Billy. Mm-hmm. They compare, like, facial features, other things like that, the way they speak. Kind of like how we talked about Avril last time, how she had been replaced. Mm-hmm. They kind of do the same thing with Paul McCartney and this Billy guy, the guy that replaced him because he died. People, you could, like, Google it, and there's a bunch of different pictures comparing these two faces, even though, in reality, it's most likely they're all Paul McCartney. So I thought it was interesting. This is Paul McCartney's official quote on this theory. Mm-hmm. If I was dead, I would be the last to know. John Lennon also said this. That is the stupidest rumor I've ever heard. So the Beatles have not given any like proof or sign that this is true. The fans, of course, gone crazy with the theories and all these different connections. The backwards stuff creeps me out. I do find this Abbey Road album cover to be super fascinating because it's very different. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it could definitely show different signs. What were they trying to say? Do you think he's dead?
No.
Neither do I. I don't either. I don't either. It's a nice theory. It probably made them sell a lot of albums. Their record label probably did it. We're gonna kill you. Not really. Just to sell albums. That sounds accurate.
That's funny.
All right. Those were the conspiracy theories that I had for you for this second part of our reacting to conspiracy theories podcast. Sorry. I make videos and podcasts. I forget sometimes what I'm doing. So which one was your favorite? Did you like the Britney Spears one, Area 51 theories, the Mandela effects, or Paul McCartney?
Probably some of the Area 51s that I didn't know about.
They're interesting.
Yeah.
I think the Britney Spears one is true. I think they totally change her voice up.
Mm-hmm.
Area 51, I'm going to go with aliens. The Mandela effects fuck with my mind.
Yeah.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Yeah, that's very...
weird. And then Paul McCartney. I think he's alive and well. I think he's fine. Any closing thoughts on these conspiracy theories?
I don't know.
I feel like I need to do a dark voice for the conspiracy theories. Although I haven't done some of the dark conspiracy theories. There's some dark, very dark theories out there. And I haven't done any of those for this specific podcast. Maybe someday.
Well, it's interesting because, I like mysteries and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you start on some of these conspiracy theories, it makes me think about, like, Indiana and Jones, where they take the box and they just put it in this warehouse that is all these crates and boxes.
Yeah,
everywhere.
what's in the warehouse?
What's in the warehouse? What's there?
Yes.
What's, type of thing.
Ark Covenant.
Yeah. So, I like things like that. So you bringing up some of these.
Some of these are fascinating.
Yeah.
The last time we talked about the Titanic one is still probably one of my favorite conspiracy theories because I find it still fascinating. But even these newer ones, like the Britney one, I just find it very interesting. And like some of her other theories are interesting too. Maybe I'll have to share those with you sometime.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another Reacting to Conspiracies episode with my mom as a guest chatter.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. I will catch you on the next Chit Chat with Cass.